Movement September 29, 2016. I'm bringing you space weather, earthquake weather, and warnings for asteroids right now. Now, the past few days, Monday, last week, we've been seeing a lot of solar storms. We've seen an asteroid that hit Australia that they kept on the low. I'm about to bring you the news right now. Right now, we got a geomagnetic storm that's continuing to hit the poles for the past 5 days. So when the coronal hole, and we're going to look down here to your left. I'm going to zoom in real fast. We got major coronal hole on the sun. And Earth is inside a stream of solar wind that's flowing from the indicated coronal hole. It's going to go on till October 1st, maybe even longer. So I'm going to put warnings and watches out for major storms, hurricanes, storms, major storms around the world, folks. When a geomagnetic storm from a coronal hole, when the winds, or if a solar flare, and we ain't got no solar flare warnings or sunspots to watch out. That's on this side of the Earth, so we're all good with solar flares. But when solar flares erupt and hit our Earth, they electronically charge our atmosphere, so storms increase. Wherever that X flare or C class flare hits, I put warnings and watches on that side of the Earth because I've got warnings and watches for earthquakes because it penetrate. Difference between a solar wind and X class solar flares are eruptions. So we ain't got nothing to worry about eruptions from the sun. But I am going to put warnings and watches out for major storms till October the 5th. Okay, folks? Same with major earthquakes and asteroids. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. Alright, so on the 26th, Australia got hit with a meteorite off of Queens land, north of Australia. Here's the article. It's going to be at the link at the bottom. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. We all know Australian residents panic as a gigantic meteorite seen over Queensland skies. Alright. A huge fireball caused by meteorite allegedly seen over Earth's panic local residents in Gladstone area, Queensland, Australia, according to reports on Monday, September 26th. Okay, folks. So we got a lot of stuff going on with these asteroids. Alright. Remember on September the 8th, we had Osiris RX going to 2009 ES. Okay, folks. And the reason the Osiris REX is going there is to move this asteroid from impacting Earth in the year 2029, 2035, and stay up there so it can move asteroids from that, or meteorites from not hitting the Earth. Okay, folks, the article is going to be at the bottom. I already did a video on this explaining Osiris REX, the secret codes, and CNN. Check that out. But what's strange, I'm going to put warnings and watches out because this is the latest NASA SOHOI. And when we zoom in, on your right, you're going to see an asteroid or a comet. And I've been watching this thing since Sunday. I haven't been doing any videos. I've been sick, folks. So just bear with me for a second. So I'm putting warnings and watches for maybe incoming asteroid, comet, till October the 5th. And this is it right here. Here's the picture. Check it out. NASA always updates it. You go to the beginning of my channel and just hit astronomy, and you can get all the pictures of our sun, solar flares, X-class flares. Alright, folks. And that asteroid that hit on Monday, they kept it low-key. Okay, folks. Remember, if an asteroid or a comet's coming to Earth, they're not going to warn people. Not even for a little asteroid, since this was a little meteor. We don't know if it came from that 2009. We don't know if Osiris REX is doing another thing. I think Osiris REX is up there going towards this asteroid, and I think it could impact Earth much sooner than what they're saying. Alright, folks. So I'm putting warnings and watches out there for incoming asteroids till October the 5th. I'm putting warnings and watches out there for increasing in space weather from solar winds from the coronal hole, earthquakes, and we're about to get into this. And I'm going to put these links at the bottom from that asteroid. They're talking about, in this article, they're talking still about the meteorite that crashed into the sea off Australia, and they said there was an earthquake. People don't know what's going on. And we're going to see a lot more of this stuff, not just from asteroids and meteorite. We're going to start seeing satellites falling out the sky. We got satellites that have been surfing the Earth for over 20, 30 years, with lifespans up to 50 years, and a lot of them are already up between the lifespans of 25 to 50 years, folks. And they're going to come back down. We're going to see stuff from that. And we got to be watching out, too, about these satellites, because they're nuclear charged. It's like an incoming nuclear missile from the sky. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming at us at Earth. But I'm just worried about this. When we look at this picture, to your right, put warnings and watches out for a comet and an asteroid. I'm not sure what that is, and no one else is reporting about it. And this article is going to be at the bottom. It's going to talk about 2009 ES, a massive killer asteroid heading towards Earth. We know about Osiris REX. And what's crazy is when that asteroid hits Queen's Landing on September 26th, when we look at this. Alright, this is on RES. Alright, it's for, this information is just for general dissemination to unrestricted audience. Okay, folks? So there's a blackout on this asteroid, and damage levels too. No one died. We don't know what's going on with this thing, so I just want everyone out there be prepared for incoming asteroids for real. Alright, so let's go back to the space weather. So we got a geomatic storm that's continuing, a G1 class that been ringing our poles for the past 5 days. So we're going to see our storms increase from the energy that's pumping our atmosphere. And we're going to see a rise in earthquakes, the lining of planets, all this stuff. We're going to get deeper into this. So right now we're going to RSOE. And we're going to look at any earthquakes that's happening right now. Okay, so when I look at the energy levels that's hitting the Earth, that's pushing down on our ionic sphere. Alright, this is where we're going to put warnings and watches. Yellow is ultra low, so I'm putting warnings and watches off the coast of China, Japan, West Australia, Indonesia, India for moderate warnings for earthquakes between 5 to 6.0 until October the 3rd, 2016. When we look at North America, we got a lot of stuff going on here, folks. And Central America and South America. So let's zoom in. Where the blue and dark blue is on the west coast of the United States of America, in the middle of America, all the way to the Caribbeans, I'm putting warnings and watches for tiny earthquakes between 2 to 4.0. I'm putting moderate to major earthquakes all the way from the southern tip of California through Mexico to central Mexico, all the way to south of America for major earthquakes. Alright, so all of central Mexico and Central America, basically all South America, where Peru is, Brazil, Chile. I'm putting warnings and watches for major earthquake until October 3rd. Also from the buffering from the solar wind, so it's going to increase the storms. It's going to increase the earthquakes and the magnitude because it's messing with our electronic field and our gravity of Earth. So I'm putting warnings and watches for major earthquakes. That's a 6.0 or above for all of Central America and all of South America. And definitely, when we zoom in right here in the lower part of South America, I'm putting major earthquake watch for next 24, 48 hours. Major earthquake watch where we see right there in the middle. We're by Panama and Mexico on the borderline for next 24 to 48 hours, including Brazil. And I put a major earthquake warning for the west coast of the United States of America and basically just the central of the Pacific Ocean towards North and South America for the next 24 to 48 hours, and major earthquake watches till October 3rd. Moderate earthquake watches in Asia, Australia, and West. When we look at these, you could tell, you know, right there in the middle, you can see where Hurricane Matthew is. They ain't got it, but you can see where the energy level is going at. We're in the middle of northern South America, major earthquake for the next 24 to 48 hours. We're in the middle of Central America. We're in the middle of the, well, not in the middle, but more towards South America, where the 60s at, in the Pacific Ocean. All right, folks, I want everyone out there be prepared. We got a lot of activities. This is where a lot of energies focuses on. It's right there in the Pacific Ocean, folks. So we got a lot of stuff going on. So when we go back to RSOE and we look at these earthquakes, you know, you got a 5.1 that just happened in Central America and Honduras. So warnings and watches for Honduras, all right, for next 24 to 48 hours. Warnings and watches for North America 4.0, 3.0 to 5.0, right there, all across the United States of America, the South, the middle, by Oklahoma, all the way to the West Coast. On the West Coast, warnings and watches for 6.0. When we go to Japan and the Asian Sea, I already put warnings and watches out there. Peru, warnings and watches for a major earthquake. Warnings and watches for Indonesia. Australia, the West Coast, I already said, of Australia. The Caribbean Sea. Colombia, Peru. So I want everyone out there to be prepared. We had a 4.4 also in Indonesia, 4.6 in Jamaica by Fukushima, 4.6 around Fukushima, 4.4. That's unique. We had a 4.6 around Fukushima. So warnings and watches for Japan for moderate 5 to 6.0 earthquakes. So I'm putting warnings and watches for moderate earthquakes around Fukushima, Japan, the east coast of China, Indonesia, west coast of Australia. All of Central America warnings and watches for 5 to 7.0 earthquake, and warnings and watches for major earthquake all in South America. Warnings and watches for moderate from California all the way to the Caribbean. I want everyone out there to be prepared because we got a lot of stuff going out there. We got space weather. We still got a dramatic storm going on until October the 5th, I believe. Warnings and watches till October 5th for this asteroid comet coming our way. So we got a lot of stuff going on, and I got a lot of news to bring you guys. I want everyone out there to be prepared. You know, we got a lot more stuff coming our way. We got a lot of events happening around. I've been doing this since 2008, and what we used to warn about is already happening. So I'm going to get into a deeper video about the real Illuminati nowadays, because everyone knows about the Illuminati. All right, everyone knows. That's the whole plan, folks. And this been the No Face move, but we're on the Ghost of the Machine, my channel. All right, I am No Face, and this is the Ghost of the Machine. I want everyone to please like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and this is the No Face move. Until next time, facing off. I want everyone out there to be prepared. We got major events coming, asteroids hitting our Earth. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on, folks. And I don't know what this is about the sun, but it's heading towards Earth. So I want everyone out there to be prepared. We got earthquakes, volcanoes, eruption. We got a lot of stuff going on. So be prepared, folks.